Hi, it's Laura Tomlinson here, Relationship Manager at the Unsung Hero Awards. And today I'm here with one of our 2019 winners for IT Team of the Year. It's the EPR Development team from Salford Royal. I'm here with Natalie, Sarah and Lesley. Hi ladies.
Hi.
And would you mind explaining to me a little bit more about your roles individually and then how they come together to form part of the EPR Development team?
Yeah, so we're a team of about 30 plus at the moment. So I'm the head of EPR here at Salford, and Natalie and Lesley are two of my team managers. So we predominantly work with the clinical teams to develop and maintain the EPR system. Some of us have clinical backgrounds in the team. We're a bit of a mixed bag really. Some are technical, but we complement each other really well in that.
So I'm a pharmacy technician by background, still practice very rarely now, about half day, I think a month I've moved it to now. But yeah, I look after the electronic prescribing side, so we make sure that we've got all of our drugs on there with decision support to help our clinicians to prescribe correctly.
Great, wonderful. Lesley?
I'm a nurse by background, joined the EPR team about 12 years ago to work on, funny enough, the electronic prescribing project, and then moved more onto the documentation and development side of things. So I'm responsible for the development work stream within the team, which basically means we work with the clinical staff to find out what they need from an electronic system, and we don't just get a piece of paper and make it into a document or an order or anything like that. We work with them to find out what they're trying to achieve, and then we try and come up with the best solution for them.
Yes, it's interesting that both yourself and Natalie, so you're both from clinical backgrounds.
Yes.
And what made you make the switch over into non-clinical roles?
So for me, when I was in my clinical role, I was working on rolling out electronic prescribing at a previous trust, and really enjoyed it, and being able to see how it made such a difference to the clinical staff has sort of driven me. So when an opportunity came up in EPR here to work solely on that electronic prescribing, I jumped at it.
Very good.
And I joined, I'm an intensive care background, nursing for many, many years in intensive care, so you tend to have a bit of a techie head anyway, working in intensive care with all the different machinery and things like that. And I used to also collect data on intensive care, so I used to do so many hours a week clinical and so many hours a week collecting data, and it really interested me. So again, it was one of those things, I saw the job advertised and thought, oh, quite fancy a bit of a change.
The trust took the decision that it was easier to train clinical background staff on how to build an EPR, because then you could act as a translator between the two. So the original team was actually made up of clinical and non-clinical staff, and we've continued that throughout the EPR team. But obviously there's lots of other digital technical teams around us as well. I completely fell into it 13 years ago. I wanted something. I was in pharmacy, was looking for something different. I was a technician the same as Natalie. And Neil, who was part of that original team, who now is one of the pharmacists that works within the EPR team, he came over to pharmacy here. So my entire career of 21 years has been here at this hospital.
Right.
And said, do you fancy this? And I was like, yeah, go on, I'll have a look. Went for an interview, got the job, never looked back. Absolutely love it. It's that whole thing of like, you can touch thousands and thousands of people with what you're doing, patients in one, not just those individual patients in the bed. And we can actually make a difference, hopefully, for the whole of the NHS. That's what we want to do. So we want to be able to develop things that can, a patient comes in poorly through A&E. Some of the developments that we've done around, like particular sepsis with the ED documentation, the clinical decision report that we build within there, flags that the patient might be at risk of having sepsis, so then they get their antibiotics quicker. And it's just all about that for us, isn't it, really?
And obviously you've achieved a lot. You were put forward for multiple nominations at the 2019 awards, yourself and other members of Salford Royal, and you won on the night.
Yeah.
And can you explain a little bit about how that felt, being there, the atmosphere, etc.?
Fantastic atmosphere. There was a lot of us that attended. There was about 10 of us. It was a table and a half of people. I think we were just really chuffed to be nominated in the first instance, wasn't we?
Yeah.
It's still a bit surreal, to be honest, because you always sit there, you go, well, there's no way we're going to win this. We know we're not going to win. And then when our name got called out, we were like, yes!
I'm just glad I didn't trip up the steps.
I mean, we've not won anything, have we, as a team?
No.
So it was fantastic and very inspirational, actually, to hear other people's stories.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the other people that won and were even nominated, it's brilliant. And I didn't even know that there was an award for non-clinical staff in the NHS, so that in itself is fantastic.
How has winning the awards affected you post the night itself?
Well, I think, as Lesley said before, the morale in the teams, been really boosted for that recognition that, we have been doing a really good job on what we're trying to achieve. So I think everybody's just been quite upbeat, haven't they? And very humble about it, really, to be fair.
I think as well the fact that the Trust is very good with their communication to everybody, so there's a weekly newsletter by email, and it was mentioned in that. And then I know several of us got emails off clinical staff that we've worked with that said, well done, really pleased for you. So it's nice to feel appreciated, because it's our job and we get on and do it, and sometimes just having that little bit of recognition just does you the world of good.